guys and girls, and welcome back to news today. This is my video about Tranmere Rovers ins and outs, who I think should stay for next season for 2021-22 season. So for Tranmere Rovers, we haven't had a good season. Obviously, we got in the playoffs. We came 7th. We didn't go up. We didn't get to Wembley. But we did play Morecambe and we did get beaten in both games, and we got a draw in the last game, which was on Sunday. So to start off with, I'm going to start with the keepers, and I will say what I think of them. Obviously with so the first one is Scotty Davis. Scotty Davis is the keeper for Tranmere Rovers. Obviously, I think he's still in the contract with Tranmere Rovers, so I'm gonna say I think I'd keep him because I think he's been with Tranmere for the past good few years now. And the next is Joe Murphy. Joe Murphy is a legend. Obviously, he's been at Tranmere Rovers a few years ago, and obviously he came back last season. Obviously, I think he came from Shrewsbury. And I think he's a great keeper. Obviously, he's a great penalty keeper for great penalty saving and everything. But do I think we should sign him for next season? I'm going to say no for this one, but you never know. Just depending if we do sign a keeper in June, July. So yeah, I'm going to say no for that. Ben Jones. I don't know who he is. Obviously, I know he's our third keeper. I don't think he's had a game for us this season, so I'm going to say probably keep him. Obviously, he could be good, he could be shit, but yeah, I'll probably say no. So next one is I think it's the defenders. The defenders. There's a few people on loan here. So Leo Connor. I like Leo Connor. I think he's a good right back, and he's quick, and he's a bit talented, obviously because he plays for Celtic, and I think he signed a contract with Celtic last season, obviously just before he came to Tranmere. So in my eyes, I think I wouldn't mind him being at Tranmere next season if they get him on another loan. So I'd be really happy with it. So next one up is Liam Rydal. I love Rydal. I think he's been one of the best defenders that we've had in the past few years, obviously with the likes of Manny Montfay. But Liam Rydal for me is a legend for me. Obviously, he's been with us for near enough 8 years, 9 years, and obviously he deserves a testimonial when he does get one, and when he gets to that 10-year anniversary. Obviously, he's been a fantastic player, and obviously he was one of my favourite players in the playoff games. Obviously, he was fantastic. I think he had about over 30 crosses in the game against Morecambe at home, and I think he's a great defender. He's a great left back, and yeah, personally, I think he should be our captain for next season if he does stay and he does sign a new contract. So Sid Nelson, Sid Nelson, Sid Nelson's another defender for Tranmere who came from Millwall. In my eyes, I like Nelson. I think he's a really good defender, but he just hasn't had the game time. But I think it's his time to shine next season if we do keep him, and obviously he does sign a new contract, just like some others. So yeah, I'd like to keep him definitely. So Mark Ellis, I think he's a great player, but he's out on loan at Notts County. Obviously, he has scored a few goals, and they have put him as a midfielder, and he's actually done really well there. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. So I'm gonna say probably he'll leave, but you never know. Anything can happen. So yeah, I think Ellis has been a great defender for us in the past for the games. Obviously, when we had our last 3 games before COVID came. But yeah, I thought he was fantastic. So yeah, It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'll probably come back to that. So yeah. So next one is Manny Morphy. Manny Morphy has been a brick for us. He's been amazing. He's had some hit and miss games, but obviously when we played Morecambe a few days ago, he wasn't the greatest, but yeah. But in the other games, he's been amazing for us. So yes, I would love him to sign a new contract for Tranmere next season. But yeah, we just have to see and wait. We just have to wait and see what happens. Well, Callum MacDonald. What do I think of this guy? We've signed him on an 18-month contract. I think this is a bad idea. I don't think he's that good as a player. I don't think he's a good left back. But yeah, I think he scored one goal last season, and he was a great goal. But I don't rate him. I really don't rate him. So I'm gonna say, personally, I'd rather see him leave. But obviously, he's gonna stay with us for another 18 months. So next is George Ray, another centre back. George Ray, just get rid. He's awful. He's absolutely awful. Sorry if you're watching, but yeah, you're awful. Peter Clark, what a legend he has been for Tranmere. Obviously, in the past games, obviously he's been a brick. Obviously, he's played every single game for Tranmere this season. What an icon as a player. Obviously, I think he's 39 and he's going on to 40. So Tranmere could be giving him another contract. Obviously, and then he could retire. I don't know, but we just have to see what happens. But yeah, if he had one more season, I wouldn't mind that. But I think bringing in another defender for next season would definitely be the best thing to do. So yeah. So the next one is Kyle Hayde. Kyle Hayde's a youngster, so I can't really say much about him. But yeah, from what I've last seen of him, I think it was against Manchester City. I thought he'd done all right, and he did get into good positions in the game. I think he's a left back. I think so. Onto midfielders now. I might have a little rant about one of these players in a minute. So Kieran Morris is number 7 for Tranmere Rovers. I used to love Kieran Morris, the way he played. Obviously, his goals he scores, his screamers, his Port Vale, the Port Vale game and the Salford game. But for me, he hasn't done it this season. He's been missing in games, like sort of the last game against Morecambe. He was awful. I didn't spot him on the game. I didn't even realise he was on the pitch. So I think Kieran Morris, it's your last season. Personally, I think you're going to go, but yeah, we'll just see what happens. So G Spearing is still in contract with Tranmere Rovers for another season, so that's fantastic. I think he's been one of our best players this season. So yeah, G Spearing should be our captain for next season, not Scotty. I'm going to say Spearing or Whitehouse for the captaincy for next season. So next is Corey Blackett Taylor. Corey Blackett Taylor's had some bad games in the past few games he's had. He's been good. Obviously, he was fantastic against Morecambe in the first leg. But I think one of the games before he was alright. He played it well. But yesterday he was awful. He was absolutely awful against Morecambe away. But would I keep him? I think I would give him another year. So yeah, I'd give him one more year, definitely. Alistair Crawford on loan from Bolton. So what did I think of him when he was at Tranmere? I thought he was alright, a decent player, but he didn't really create much for Tranmere. So I'm going to say a no for Alistair. So next is Nye Kirby. I didn't really want to say anything because he's shit. Nye Kirby, bye bye. Otis Khan. I might get some hate for this, but Otis Khan has been okay. in a few games, but in the other games, does he play for the shirt? I don't know. I really don't know. But personally, personally I think he will sign a new contract with Tranmere Rovers. I don't think he'll go Sunderland because I think Sunderland would be too big for him. But yeah, so I'll probably say I'll keep him, but just for the amount of time. So Leon Feeney next. I loved this guy when he was at Blackpool, and I was buzzing when he came. I remember when I was at Blackpool last year, and I was like having a little trip in Blackpool. He signed for Tranmere Rovers on that day. So yes, I would love Feeney to stay at Tranmere for next season. I think he's a good player. He's got a good swing, got a good foot on his swing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think he's really good. I think he's decent enough. So yeah, I think he should be at Tranmere Rovers next season. Next up, Paul Lewis. What do I think? He has some good games. He has some bad games. He has some good games. He has some bad games. I don't know about this one. I'll probably say Paul Lewis can leave. So bye bye. Next up is George Nugent. I haven't really seen much of him. He looked decent against Manchester City, and he's got a bit of pace. I think he's a right midfielder. I think so. Yeah, possibly probably stay for next season, but he might not get game time. So next up is Danny Lord. I think he's still injured, but yeah, I think he's a great player since he came from Stockwell County, I think it was, and he's really progressed this season. And I think he should be with us next season. I hope, because I think he should be in the team. So yeah, I'd like Danny Lloyd to stay definitely. So next up is the forwards. Right, the forwards are James Vaughan. I love the guy. I think he's amazing, and he shows everything. He shows his passion on the pitch, and I think he's a great player. And yeah, I think obviously him scoring about 18 to 20 goals this season, last season. But yeah, I obviously he's got another contract in for next season. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Really happy. Excuse me. So I would love Vaughan State, but yeah, anything can happen in football. So yeah, definitely, 100%. So next up is Charlie Jolly. Obviously, he only came in from Wigan. I think he's only about 18, 19, or possibly 20. But yeah, I haven't really seen him much. I think we've only seen him about two games. I think he played again. I think he played for Wigan when we played them in the Papa John's Trophy. I think he was on the bench, and I think I think Charlie Joyce played against Stevenage when we got beat 1-0, and when we played against Forest Green and we got beat 2-1. So what are my thoughts on Charlie Joyce? I think he will stay with the club, obviously, because I think he signed about a 2 or 3 year deal with Tranmere Rovers. But yeah, I think because he's only young, I'd probably give him another chance. Kim Woolery, you can go. I don't think he's good enough. He's got pace, but when he has the pace, he doesn't do anything with the ball. I would personally, I'd like to see him go and Tranmere Rovers get another striker in. And I think that would be best for business. So next up is Danny Walker-Rice. Haven't really seen him much play, but he has been in the odd few games in the cup games, and he has been a decent player. But can I see Danny Walker-Rice staying? Possibly no, possibly yes, but I'm not too sure about that one. So I think there's two more. Jake Burton, obviously he's played the odd few games in the league, obviously against Salford, and he only came on. He only played for about 30 minutes in the game, and then Jacko took him off. I was like, why put a player on and then take him off? And then, so I think Jake Burton will probably stay at Tranmere Rovers for next season and probably get him out on loan, possibly. I think that would be best for business. Next up, David Nugent. I used to love David Nugent when he was younger. Obviously, he was a great football player. Obviously, he was scoring goals, 15 to 20 goals a season. I think when he was at Portsmouth and a few games he was at Preston. And then obviously he came to Tranmere Rovers from Preston. And then obviously he's a free agent. But personally, I'm just thinking Tranmere Rovers will do really something stupid and just sign him for next season. I really don't think we should be signing him. So I'm going to say no for this, but knowing Tranmere, they probably will sign him. But yeah. So I think that is it. So that is my thoughts on, do I think the players should stay or go? Obviously, the retain list will be out in the next few days, so I could be right, I could be wrong. So let's just see what happens in the next few days or next few weeks. And obviously, Tranmere still need a manager. And who is going to be the next Tranmere manager? Comment down below who you think should be the next Tranmere manager. In my eyes, I want to see Mickey Mellon. I want to see Mickey Mellon there because I think he's a good manager. He knows all about the club. Obviously, he knows he's won playoffs with us, and he's got us up, and he's won twice in a row at Wembley. And obviously, the fans love him, and he likes them back. So yeah, it has to be Mickey Mellon for me. But the other thing is, people can see Dave Chalmers. Obviously, he used to play for Tranmere Rovers a few years ago. Obviously, he did have a longer throw on him. But yeah, let's hope we get a good manager in first, and then we get the players in that we need. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. So this video will be out in the morning, when I'm probably awake. So up the rights, Suai Army. I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace out. Come on, you boys.